A huge change is happening today in Disney World that made planning your vacation a whole lot easier. The Lightning Lane Genie Plus situation is changing forever as a new system, the Lightning Lane Multipass, takes over. Today we're hanging out in Hollywood Studios and testing this hopefully better system. I'll be sharing everything I learn about using it, any tips and tricks I pick up along the way, and how to get the most out of this new paid FastPass system. So let's go check it out. It is a huge day in Orlando as we finally have a new alternative to waiting in the inevitably long lines for attractions. And as expected, things didn't go that smoothly for me this morning. I was up very early this morning, ready to book my Lightning Lanes, and I kept getting an error message saying something went wrong, which I was quite surprised about because online it seemed like everything went really smoothly for everyone else. I tried everything. I updated my phone, I updated the app, I logged in, I logged out, I turned my phone on, I turned my phone off. I tried everything and nothing seemed to work. Until about 9:30 when my friend had the idea for me to log into someone else's account to see if it would let me book it that way. I logged into my sister's My Disney Experience account and bam, let me book it right away. So I'm not sure what the issue was there, but it does seem like me and my friend Nate were two of the only people that had this happen to them. So I don't know, maybe it was just a glitch in the system. But anyways, we got that all settled. I have some Lightning Lanes booked, but before we get to them and we have all the fun, I want to give you guys some info about the new Lightning Lane Multipass. So, some things you need to know before we get started, and I'm going to try and explain everything to the best of my ability. Number one, guests staying at a Disney resort can plan their Lightning Lane selections up to 7 days in advance. All other guests will be able to do so on 3 days out. Number two, you can choose up to 3 experiences in advance and hold up to 3 Lightning Lanes at a time, meaning once you complete an experience, you can book another. Number 3, you can see the available return times before purchasing. This is super helpful so you know what you're buying before you purchase it. The old system, you couldn't see what was available and people were just purchasing Lightning Lane and then nothing was available. Whatever they wanted to ride wasn't available. So this is definitely a great change as well. Number 4, the price varies by date and park, but is said to be similar to the old pricing system, which tends to be around $25 per day, but can get higher. I paid $26 in Hollywood Studios today. And number 5, each park has a tier system for booking. To keep things super simple, we're just gonna go over the tiered system in Hollywood Studios, and hopefully this helps you understand it better. Here in Hollywood Studios, there are 2 tiers of Lightning Lane Multipass. Tier number 1, you can choose up to 1 experience from this group, including Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, Smuggler's Run, Rock and Roller Coaster, and Slinky Dog Dash. After you choose one of those attractions, you could choose 2 experiences from the second tier, which includes Alien Swirling Saucers, the Beauty and the Beast live on stage show, Disney Junior Play and Dance, for the first time in forever, a Frozen sing-along celebration, the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular, Muppet Vision, Star Tours, Tower of Terror, and Toy Story Mania. And you're probably saying, Kristen, there's one major attraction that you are forgetting, and you're right, Rise of the Resistance. That's because this is not included in the Lightning Lane Multipass. Rise of the Resistance and some of the other popular rides in the other parks require you to pay individually. This is now being referred to as a single pass. So for Rise of the Resistance single pass today, that would have cost an additional $25. Now on paper, this seems like it's going to be a massive upgrade from the old system. So I'm really excited to test it out and kind of learn more about it today. And I decided to come to Hollywood Studios to test it out because in my opinion, this is the park that you need to purchase Lightning Lane in the most. The lines for most attractions can get very long here. And if you don't have Lightning Lane, you're gonna be waiting quite a while in almost every single ride. There's not much to do that doesn't include waiting in line. So that's why I decided to come test it out here today. It's also probably worth it in Magic Kingdom. Not too sure about Epcot and Animal Kingdom, but we'll see how it is here today in Hollywood. Now that we've got all the boring info stuff out of the way, let's take a look at the Lightning Lane selections I was able to make at about 9:30 this morning in Hollywood Studios. So for Tier 1, I booked Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway at 10:55, between 10:55 and 11:55. For my Tier 2 selections, I didn't have that much to choose from. I got Alien Swirling Saucers at 11:40, so we'll do that. And then I got Tower of Terror at 8:05. I'm hoping that I'm gonna be able to modify this down to an earlier time, so you can still modify them. You just go there and try, we'll see if anything's available. I hope so. I could either go for this or Toy Story Mania, but we'll see if I'm able to modify it down. Yeah, see, nothing available right now, but we'll keep messing with it. So with all of that being said, let's go have some fun and check out our first ride, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. We definitely picked a good tier 1 attraction. The line for Mickey and Minnie's is quite long right now, about 55 minutes, so we are definitely lucking out getting to skip this. All right, first lightning lane of the day. Let's give it a scan. Bam. Now that we have officially scanned into Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, we should be able to book another lightning lane. And I'm looking through, it pretty much looks like all of the tier 1s are already full. Rock and Roller Coaster, Slinky Dog, Rise is currently sold out as well. Toy Story Mania, yeah. It's not looking like there's much else to book in the tier 1 selections.
What could possibly go wrong? Oh no! I must have hit that track switch! Minnie, let's get that runaway train! There they are! Well, that concludes my guided tour. Hope you had a relaxing ride around the park, and thanks for sticking with me.
Well, that was fun. And attraction number 1, complete, check. Our first Lightning Lane Multipass has been used. That means we could book another. So while I was standing in line, I did book a Lightning Lane for Smuggler's Run. Like I said, the ride makes me a little bit sick, so I just booked it to have it, and I'll try and modify it to something else. Hopefully I can get something else. We'll see. Maybe I'll end up riding, who knows. But for now, it's time for some breakfast. It is not often, or really not ever, that I'm in Hollywood Studios early enough to actually get breakfast. And I am here early enough to get a breakfast Ronto wrap. I haven't had one since I was in Disneyland about a year ago. So I am very excited for this. And here it is, the elusive Ronto morning wrap. This has eggs, grilled pork sausage, shredded cheddar, and peppercorn sauce in pita bread for $12.79. And tell me this doesn't look like someone took a big old bite out of my little egg patty. And I will say the egg itself is like actual rubber. Like the top of it is very, very crusty. You can tell that it was probably microwaved, but we're going with it, guys. We're going with it. Cheers. Ronto morning wrap. This does not happen often. And it is oh so good when it does happen. That cheese melts on that warm pork sausage. The sausage itself is so flavorful. That thing is loaded with flavor. The eggs for sure aren't the best. I wish they were like a fresh scramble, but the pita bread as well. The pita bread is super, super soft. I feel like the pita bread is a way better quality. The pita bread and the sausage is like a way better quality early in the morning, maybe because they're making them, cranking them out super fresh because they're really busy over there. It's one of the only places in Hollywood Studios that serves breakfast. They are cranking these babies out, so these are nice, hot, and fresh. And man, when you get this thing hot and fresh, it's really, really good. As I'm sitting here enjoying my Ronto wrap, I've been trying to edit and modify my Tower of Terror reservation, and I saw one pop up for 1 o'clock. 1:05, there was one available. And I clicked on it real quick, but it looks like it was a little bit too late. It wasn't able to book it for me. So they're kind of tricking us. Similar to the old one, if you don't click it right away, it will not be available. So I don't know. I'm hoping that I'm able to find an earlier time. I'm gonna keep trying. And here's a look at the availability for Lightning Lane Multipass at 11 o'clock in the morning here. There really is not much available. Slinky Dog gone right away, of course. You could book Frozen, Muppet Vision. Unfortunately, no Rock and Roller Coaster available. You can book Star Tours, Beauty and the Beast, no Toy Story Mania. You can still book Smuggler's Run. No Indiana Jones is booked out too. Alien Swirling Saucers, the earliest return time is 5:50. You can book the Disney Junior. You can book Mickey and Minnie still, but man, there really isn't much available right now. I'm really hoping that maybe they release more lightning lanes throughout the day. Maybe they just didn't put them all out. It's still 11 o'clock in the morning, so it's really early. I feel like it's too early for everything to be sold out. And just looking through the ones available at Magic Kingdom right now at 11 a.m., there isn't much available there either. Like Pirates is sold out, Big Thunder is sold out. Again, of course those are going to change and you're always able to check and modify. It's kind of how you used to be able to do like the old FastPass system. You could always just modify it, and I'm someone who just sits on the app and will press modify until I get like whatever lightning lane that I want. So if you're willing to like dedicate the time, you might be able to secure more lightning lanes, but there's just not much available. Maybe because there's not much to do in Hollywood studios in general. There aren't that many like attractions. But I don't know, maybe they just didn't release as many. You guys, like I said, you guys are learning with me. We are learning this together. You guys know at this point as much as I know. So we're gonna see how the rest of this day pans out. Okay, so on my way over to Alien Swirling Saucers, I was able to modify my tower reservation for later tonight to Indiana Jones, so I think we're gonna do that instead. And since we did book that Indiana Jones lightning lane pretty last minute, it's already time to use it. I'm kind of hustling over there. I think the return time was like 11:30 to 11:45, and we're nearing that 11:45 mark, so hopefully I make it in time. I'm not really too sure what the lightning lane seating section is going to be for Indiana Jones. Hopefully it's up front, and hopefully there's plenty of shade. That's what I'm hoping. Thank you. And unfortunately, I have found out that lightning lane is completely useless because it's not even a reserved seating area. You can just go down either side, just like the standby line can. So kind of a waste of a lightning lane, but there's nothing else left to book. The show doesn't start until 12, so they do make you get here like a little bit early. And the show is actually empty. So yeah, there was totally no point in booking this. But hey, I'm relaxing in the shade. It's nice and cool under here. Also, I'm sitting in the front row. I don't think I've ever sat in the front row for this show before, so we should have a really good view. I ended up finding a rock and roller coaster at 8:25, so you know what, whatever, I booked it. And I think it's important to note that while we're like sitting here, I could kind of mess around with this again, and you're able to book other parks. So like right now, if I wanted to, oh my god, nothing's available in Epcot. Not even Spaceship Earth. Oh, I could book, thank god, I'm sure there's a huge line for that. Wow, there's like just nothing available. Not even for Mission Space? What? Okay, there's Soarin', no Ratatouille. Okay, so yeah, you can pretty much just book the other parks while you're still in the other park and stuff. So that is good to note. I don't know about you guys, but that camera looks super legit to me. Great show. I haven't got to see it in quite a while. I will say the fake camera is a little bit corny, but I'm still glad we got to see it. Again, you don't need a lightning lane for that. I wish they kind of maybe like reserved maybe the first couple of rows in each section for lightning lane or something. I'm not sure because there was actually no benefit to having lightning lane for that. But now that we're in here, I think it is time to head to our next lightning lane, which is going to be for Alien Swirling Saucers. It's kind of got us crisscrossing the park all around, so we're going to be doing a lot of steps today.
Have your money bank cards ready this time.
Lightning lane number 3. We have made it to our Alien. I can't even tell you the last time I've been on this ride. This isn't my first choice of ride in this park, but hey, it'll do. We're on lightning lane, so you know, why not get it while you can? I feel like this ride is so awkward alone. It's fun when you're with someone. Oh my god! Whoa! It's tossing me around! They have a ride similar to Alien Swirling Saucers in Tokyo Disney called the Baymax ride, or it's called the Happy Ride with Baymax, and it looks so fun. And all the guests are outside like dancing and singing along, and all the cast members dance and sing. They don't do that here, so it's a little bit less fun, but oh, that was so short. I don't even know if we went for a full minute. All right, we're finished up at Alien Swirling Saucers, and actually while I was sitting there waiting for the Indiana Jones show to start, I was able to finally secure a Tower of Terror lightning lane, and I was able to get it, where is it here? I was able to get it for $105 to $205, and we're nearing that time. We've got about 10 minutes or so, so I think now we're gonna head over to Sunset Boulevard. This just goes to show that you gotta keep refreshing. Don't give up. It's a lot of work, and it is quite annoying, but keep refreshing. The lightning lane availability changes all the time. Another good one to skip, we are currently missing the 65-minute standby wait time with our lightning lane, so I'm very happy I was persistent in refreshing. So I didn't really want to ride Tower. I also really want to ride Rock and Roller Coaster, like I said. I'm not sure if it's going to happen today, but at least we got one of the rides on Sunset.
The time is now, on an evening very much like the one we have just witnessed. Tonight's story in the Twilight Zone is somewhat unique and calls for a different kind of introduction. This, as you may recognize, is a maintenance service elevator, still in operation, waiting for you. We invite you, if you dare, to step aboard, because in tonight's episode, you are the star, and this elevator travels directly to the Twilight Zone. You are about to discover what lies beyond the fifth dimension, beyond the deepest, darkest corner of your imagination, in the Tower of Terror.
Up or down? We're going up, I think. Yep, I guess right. Well, I think that ride on Tower is going to do it for us, but before we head out for the day, I do kind of want to recap, give my thoughts, give my final review, and talk to you guys a little bit more about it, about the whole change before I head out of the park. Okay, well now that I have officially used the Lightning Lane Multipass, and I don't consider myself an expert in any way, I've only used it one time, but I think I have a pretty good grasp on the system and how it works. The most important thing, is it better than the previous Lightning Lane system? There's absolutely no question. I mean, it is so much better. Getting to hold 3 lightning lanes at a time is really key. That's kind of how it was in the past with the old Fast Pass system. And then ever since they introduced Lightning Lane, you had to have one at a time. And once you used it, or 2 hours after you book it, you were able to make another one. It was just all around so confusing. And this way is definitely way easier and way more beneficial to you guys if you're purchasing Lightning Lane Multipass. Now, I did, of course, have a couple of issues this morning with booking mine. I mentioned it earlier, but I wasn't able to purchase Lightning Lane Multipass through my account, and I did have to log into my sister's account to purchase it for myself. I'm not sure why that happened. My friend Nate seems to think that maybe it's because we're connected to too many on our friends and family list, and it was just having a hard time locating the tickets. So I'm not entirely sure why that was the case, because it seems like Nate and I were the only people having that issue this morning. Everyone else said it went really, really smoothly. So that was my only issue. I do kind of wish I was able to book my lightning lanes at 7:30 a.m. when I first tried, because I would have been able to get way more and way better times and the rides that I actually wanted and stuff. But that was just an error on the first time. We figured it out. I logged into my sister's account, so it's no big deal. But maybe keep that in mind. I don't know if it's going to happen to any of you guys. Keep that in mind. If you are having issues, try and log into maybe a family member's account if you can, and see if it works that way. I did get a Joffrey's Mango Iced Tea. I've been addicted to these recently, and after the annual pass discount, I think it's only $3.80, so what a bargain. But the only other issues I had with the entire experience today is that there wasn't much availability. Now, I have a feeling that after today and the next couple of days, and they gauge kind of the capacity that these attractions can handle, they'll probably up the amount of lightning lanes that are offered, or at least I hope. Wishful thinking here, but there definitely wasn't much available later in the day. I know I haven't seen a single Slinky Dog or Toy Story Mania available, or even I saw one Rock and Roller Coaster available, but it wasn't till 8:30 p.m. or something. So definitely there's not much available. Make sure you book those lightning lanes in advance. Remember, if you're staying at a Disney resort, you could book the Lightning Lane Multipass up to 7 days before your trip. If you're not staying at a Disney resort, it's 3 days before. Obviously today, since it was the first day, we weren't able to book in advance, but I have a feeling that is going to be a major, major key, a major advantage, and something that's going to help you guys a lot. I know you probably come to the parks and you're super stressed and stuff, and having to buy that lightning lane at 7 a.m. and kind of only getting it was just way too stressful. Being able to plan it in advance is great. I'm really happy they made that change, and it should be really good moving forward. Another thing I definitely want to harp on is refresh. When it was the old Fast Pass system, and even when you used to have to try and like fight for park passes, park reservations, the availability for all of that stuff, even dining reservations, it changes every second. Honestly, it's always changing. So the availability for the lightning lanes, if you have the ability to just sit on your phone and kind of refresh, there's a good chance you'll be able to get what you want. It does take a lot of work, and I will admit it's kind of annoying, but it is an option for you. And if you're really wanting to do something, keep refreshing. Like I said, the availability is always changing. Well, overall, I definitely like the Lightning Lane Multipass system. I think it is very beneficial, and I think you guys are going to love it if you come try it out. Love it a lot more than the old system, at least. It'll definitely be something I purchase quite often when coming to the parks, and I recommend you guys try it out as well, especially for Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom. Hopefully I was able to clarify some things for you and kind of help you out with any questions that you may have had. If you still have more questions that I haven't answered in this video, leave them in the comments below. I'll try my best to get to all of the questions. And if you don't have a question, also let me know down below in the comments what you think of this change. Like I said, I really think it's great. But that is going to do it for us here today in Hollywood Studios. Massive shout out, as always, to all of my Patreon subscribers. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. And if you don't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you enjoy honest Disney reviews. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.